4 books to talk about because I finished 3 books this week.
I'm so focused and fancy free. I'm on my standing desk, so I can just shrink out of So, welcome to the Northern Knits Podcast. We are 2 friends in fibre who knit, crochet, craft, and talk everything in between. I'm told it's episode 217. I don't keep track of these things. My name is Jocelyn, and my co-host is
Diana.
Hey Joe, boy, it's a Sunday evening recording, so y'all know what that means. Selling, grab your beverage, it's gonna be weird. This is how it works. We could have recorded earlier today, but I have yarn on the go. Because I left the house. Spoiler!
So spoiler.
Diana,
super not a spoiler by the time Wednesday rolls around.
Nope, not even remotely. I currently call Winnipeg, Manitoba home, and Diana calls Waterloo, Ontario home. Diana, do you want to let everybody know what we're going to cover this week? And I'm going to have a tea.
We've got What's in Our Cup, Cool Threads, Yarn on the Go, Woolly Workings. I don't even know if those are in the right order anymore. It's been like a year since we've had them.
It's been so long since we've had yarn on the go. We were finished writing show notes. I was like, wait a minute. I left the house.
Does it go there? I don't know. Well, this is where it's going today. I don't remember. It's been so long. I don't even know if it's still in this book.
Okay, like astute viewers will notice. Different background. I'm also free. I'm wireless. That's not a shock, but we're on a standing desk, so new desk, new office space.
Upgrades.
All the grades.
Oh, we've also got So Little Time Wool Gathering and Literature. We got off on a tangent while listing all the things.
Well, you started moving around because I'm still not used to standing all the time yet. So I move around a lot still because I'm still getting into that habit of standing again. So, but the goal is to
This is going to be a rambly night. All right, let's do it.
Should have brought my donuts. That's right. I got a vaccine shot and I got a donut. Because I'm special. No, it's because we went through drive-thru on the way home.
I mean, I had giant chocolate chip cookies, but that's also unrelated to getting vaccinated.
True.
But yay, we're both vaccinated! The first shot.
1 of 2 is done.
Woo!
Yeah. So excited.
September can't come soon enough.
Oh, man. I think this will be the first time in many, many years where a vast majority of my friends are going to be as excited for fall as I am. For entirely different reasons, because I'll be excited because summer's over. And because I get my second shot, but mostly because summer's over. Everyone else is going to be super excited because they get their second shots and stuff. So my sister and brother-in-law go on Wednesday.
Nice.
Took a bit of extra time to book because they wanted to go down together, so and get it both done at the same time. Otherwise, he's got to go down twice, once for himself, once to check my sister, and I'm like, oh my god.
Oh yeah, and downtown's not convenient ever.
So they're doing it this Wednesday, so I'm very excited for them to go get poked in the arm, which I did not feel. And unintentionally, I followed advice from one of my friends who got his last week. He's like, drink a lot of water. I'm like, you have no idea how much water I drink in a day. Hydration, not a problem. And use your arm, move your arm a bunch. Don't isolate it, right? So you work out the muscles and some of that tenseness is in the muscles. I may have sorted cookbooks and put them up above the new stove oven today. So there was a lot of this going on when I got home. And I'm like, I hadn't intended to do that, but anyway. Where were we? We were talking about something. Let's talk about what we're drinking.
Yeah, what's in our cup?
Let's try to keep this somewhat on track. In the superior replacement to the Christmas mug, the Nightmare Before Christmas mug has the usual Sunday night beverage, which is turmeric ginger tea right now. Guys, I gotta order more turmeric ginger tea. I'm almost out. And, it took me 20 minutes to find where my tea had gone. Stuff isn't set in the new kitchen yet, so things are temporary homed, which means they get moved a lot.
I was looking for my sandals today because it's properly summer now, and I didn't really wear my sandals last summer.
Where'd you go?
So I had to find 2 moves deep, buried extras off-season shoes.
How'd that go?
It was a little challenging.
So it was all the cuts. Hey, why don't you talk about your tea?
Okay. Well, Plum Deluxe is cool and sent us tea. Sent me
They
tea.
are
I don't know. They sent me tea.
They sent
I
you
have
tea.
Plum Deluxe tea.
You have Plum Deluxe tea, which is good because they sent you a lavender tea, which I will not drink. Because, oh boy, do I not like lavender.
So I figured I would start by reviewing their two, the ones that they said were the most popular with the, apparently they do fibre shows usually. In normal times, they do fibre shows in whatever state they're in that I don't remember. So they said...
wait till you and I can start traveling to go to yarn conventions. Cannot wait. Oh, I think Grandpa's putting a door on a cabinet.
Ooh.
They're doing final touches around the places, so it's starting to come together.
So they said the two most popular teas with the fibre community were the Magic Butterfly, which I did last week, and the Reading Nook tea, which I'm doing this week.
Awesome.
So it is decaf black tea, rosebuds, lavender, chamomile, love, and gratitude. No caffeine. So it's, let's focus. There we go. So, it's pleasing black tea with some flowery bits in it.
Yeah.
I oversteeped it slightly, so it's a little bit bitter. But that aside, my own mistakes aside, this tea is lovely. It's so nice.
Is that another one of those errors that happens between the computer and the chair sort of situation?
Oh yeah, this is 100% my own problem. It said brew 3 to 5 minutes, and I think I accidentally did like 5.5. So completely my own fault.
Yeah, black tea is
good.
It's so easy to oversteep.
Oh my gosh, if you are even ambivalent to lavender, this tea is amazing. It smells so sweet, and it tastes. It's like, I don't know. It's just really delicious.
Listen, it's not just lavender. It's pretty much all flowers.
Well, if you're not against all flowers, this tea is so good. Like I screwed up making it, and it's still fantastic. So yeah.
Ooh,
A+ Plum Deluxe tea.
I feel like this is going to be a several week rave about Plum Deluxe tea. I know, I got to order.
Oh, it is. I'm doing a different tea each week, and they sent me like 5 or 6 different teas. So we're going to be hearing about Plum Deluxe for a while.
I might have time to order some Plum Deluxe before you're done.
Oh, 100%. Given that there's a week between each of the teas, yeah.
Listen, Critical Role has their 3-pack of socks available. That's happening first.
Mm-hmm.
Can you blame me?
I still kind of want the Cobalt Soul bomber jacket.
I
might do it.
I still want the silver tumbler. The tankard. I don't drink beer, but I want a tankard.
Put tea in it.
Put my water in.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have to fill my water cup so much in a day. Oh, that'd be nice. All right. What do we got next? Oh my God. We have cool threads, which actually ties into Yarn on the Go.
Yeah, talk about your yarning and your going and your threading.
Well, unlike Diana, when the opportunity came to leave my house, I took my yarn.
Okay, you know what? It's like 30 degrees and 80% humidity here. Yarn was not entering my head.
I took a sock with me when I went to go get vaccinated for COVID-19. I got my first shot literally earlier today. So it's only 16 degrees and kind of cool here, but we had a super needed rainy couple of days, I'm hoping that even south of us got more rain than we did, because boy, oh, do they need some serious rainage.
Mm-hmm.
Like you're a hiker there, Miss Diana.
Mm-hmm.
There are no open hiking trails in southern Manitoba.
No, I know. I've been hearing about it. There's just fires everywhere.
Fires everywhere. Well, it's not true. There are like a handful of open trails, and if you know anything about Manitoba, we have a lot of hiking trails in this province.
Yes,
because it's a beautiful place to hike. And there's been like bans on fires at campgrounds. Yeah, no backcountry anything, because it's just so easy for the bush to catch fire right now. It's sketchy. It's all get out. So I'm super hoping they got enough rain to help lower that a little. I know we need more, but got to start somewhere. Gotta start somewhere. So I wore my habanero cardigan, which I'm not wearing now because it's a little too warm to be wearing inside a building. And I wore my Seriously Annoyed Grapes shawl. Don't remember what the pattern name is called, but the colorway is Seriously Annoyed Grapes, and it's from
like
Ancient Art.
Stormy Skies, I think was the pattern name.
I'd have to go look. I think I made a project page for it. That was back when I actually made project pages. Which I really don't do anymore.
That was one of those few times where I managed to bully you enough into making a project page for something.
Yeah, pretty much. I really don't do that anymore, guys. So that was my cool threads and my yarn on the go. So I took a sock with me while I was knitting. We're gonna sit and wait for 15 minutes. Why wouldn't I? Knit in the car on the way down. I knit while I was waiting. I knit in the car on the way home. Felt good to go out and knit. My cousin was kind enough. He was free today. Well, he's a teacher. He's free most Sundays. He took me down.
Generally, yeah.
I would have, unless it's like marking time, in which case there is no freedom of time. They're full blown work. But he took me down and helped me get around the RBC Convention Center. So there's a lot of people pointing you to another person. Definitely outside of my field of vision range. And going, oh, just go talk to the person over there. It's like halfway through, like, thank you for coming. He's like, you're welcome. Oh my god. I would have caused panic if I showed up by myself. Oopsies. Oh, it's done. Hey, I even managed to fill up my form all by myself.
You had to fill in the form?
Consent form.
Huh?
Well, we were consenting to the vaccine in this province, and then consenting if we would allow the people of the government, I think it's provincial government wanted to collect statistics and data information. Who was getting the shot, like gender, race. And I was like, yeah, I'm blind. I walk out the front door and people know my medical history. They can see the stick. You are aware of some part of what my medical history involves. Yeah, sure. Government of Canada, government of Manitoba wants to know that I got a poke in the arm and I'm Métis and white or a female. Cool. Yeah, right out here. It's fine. It's the least offensive thing I will be asked at any point in my medical history.
Oh, they want to know the demographics of the people they've microchipped.
Sure. You've been watching too much Facebook video.
No, literally the only reason I know about that particular conspiracy theory is everybody else talking about it.
So crazy. So, though in the realm of crazy, I put TikTok on my phone.
That is a realm of crazy.
Not opened it yet. I know I've been brave enough to try it to see if my accessibility stuff breaks it or not.
Good luck.
Thank you. You'll get a text if I break it just by opening the app. I'll be like, and I broke TikTok.
Aw.
I'm not allowed on that one.
Well, get a screenshot if you can. It's good talk material.
Absolutely. I have no problems helping raise awareness on why coding needs to be more accessible. We need to remember that this is a thing that needs to work with big font and voice assist. I mean, unless you use it, it doesn't occur to you that it's a thing.
Yeah.
It's the same way as I don't drive, so do I keep track of streets anymore? No. Why would I do that?
Fair.
It's not info I need, so I don't keep track of it anymore. Just doesn't make any sense to me. All right. Shall we move on to the good stuff? What we're working on?
I think so. I just need to grab a square to measure my current square against to make sure it's the right size, because I think it might be.
I was having one of those weeks where I was like, pick things up, put things down, pick things up, put things down. So I didn't make a lot of progress on anything. But I got a lot of little bits. So I was working on Homemade Vest, the Sumo Rested diaper. We're still in color 1, which is the white. It's a 24/7 cotton from Lion Brand. It's a nice cotton to work in. I'm quite liking it. But I'm worried I've gone and goofed. And for the life of me, I can't figure out if I have or not, and I think I have. I think at some point, my inside became my outside, and my outside became my inside. And my bump is now going the wrong way.
Oh, no.
So I'm going to have to either put it aside for now, which I might do, and see if I can get the wonderful and amazing and very patient Erin. Next time we're allowed to have people over. Come and help me take it back. so that I can get rid of this row or two that are wrong. Otherwise, I got to rip and start again. And I don't really want to rip and start again if I don't have to.
No.
Nor do I necessarily want to put it in the mail for you.
Fair.
So I feel like maybe just seeing if maybe I can talk Erin into helping me out and taking a row or two for me. Well, it's my fault because I didn't put a right side marker on or a wrong side marker. So I don't know when I flipped inside out, and it's so small. It's so easy to flip inside out and not know what I'm doing. So I was working on my Ome vest, which is one of my main projects. So hopefully I'm able to pick that up again shortly-ish. Shortly-ish. So that was my first disappointment. I was like, I'm done with you because I don't like you anymore. Because that's the thing. You've got two. I got to keep going. Let's talk about the thing I casted on today. I casted on a sock. Why, you ask? Because there was absolutely no way I was getting through 2 inches of ribbing plus casting on a 2-over sock in less than 24 hours to go to my vaccine appointment today. So I said, no. I had a spare 2.25 millimeter needle. I just casted on a new sockage.
So cute.
It's the grayscale that I was having such trouble with earlier on in the year. And I'm hoping that this time we work better. So I did the Jocelyn sock recipe standard of Judy's Magic Cast On. And I'm going to do a giggled basic vanilla sock with a mock short row heel all the way up till I'm doing Jimmy's surprisingly stretchy bind off. This one lives in my Erin Lane bag, which I don't sticker myself, so I stickered my bag. I'm not into putting stickers on myself. I like stickering other things, so I put a sticker in the bag. So the ball has been split, the 100-gram ball, but I think this is not sock and roll, and I think this is comfort sock.
Sure.
Sock. The ball band was lost a while ago. All right, I have 1, 2, 3 left.
I still only have 2.
Really? All right, but
I've magically picked up a 3rd one since we started.
I don't know why you wouldn't. Let's talk the other side. In the muted 60 floral hippie back, I'm so close to being done. It's crazy how close I am to being done. I'm almost done my first sock. All right, this is the, Whiskey Jack something colorway.
It's Whiskey Jack.
Whiskey Jack colorway?
Yep.
This is from Fireweed Fiber Co., which is the wonderful Miss Erin. This was her February sock colorway, which I have been slowly working up. And as you can see from this folded sack I'm holding up, I'm at the point where I do my cuff stuff now. I have done exactly 1 row of ribbing. So, could take a bit, but I have my sock all folded and copied together, so it only takes up a quarter of the space visually. Like it takes up like a palm of my hand, which makes this much easier to knit on at the right angle without having to necessarily worry about having it hit my stomach. It's not flat. I'm fine with it. It's not to knit the second sock for this sock set, but it's okay. I am making progress, and that is what counts. But again, because I can't stay focused on any one thing. So many things are going on. I'm holding giant in suspense. I'm not going to talk about the cardigan until last. I'm going to talk about the colorwork cardigan I'm working on. I ripped up my back for the gray and pink long crocheted long crocheted cardigan that I'm designing, because my back measurements were a little off. So we corrected that map. I updated the pattern, and then I ripped out all the yarn. I had to put the yarn in something, so the yarn went in here. The always present in my life, CBC swag bag. I didn't have to redo my hem. I just pulled my hem section out to the point where it was the right length. And I shortened my section, and I've got my first stripe of pink done, and I've just started my gray. First stripe of gray. So I still have the whole back to do, but I double checked the math, and I got it restarted. And the hardest part's always that first row and picking up all the stitches and starting it again. That's always a tough stuff. So I'm making that on a 5.5 millimeter hook, which conveniently enough lives in the project, so I know where it is at all times. So hopefully I can stay somewhat focused on this week and make some progress. Though I don't know, because it's getting closer to Louise's check-in time for the end of the month. And I'm pulling a Louise, so the stuff I'm working on I'm not talking about.
Okay.
But it's a surprise for the Louise check-in. Yeah.
Okay.
Which just increases my workload behind the scenes, guys. That's okay. You say, where do you go, Jocelyn? Not really anywhere. And I'm still not going anywhere for another 2-3 weeks because I want to give this vaccine the best shot it's got. You know, it would be really bad to get sick this close to the finish line.
Oh, that would just be
a kick in the teeth. And no, I'm staying home. Stay home. You can all stay away still. None of it really changed my behavior afterwards. I'm still only. Afterwards, I'll be allowed to go out and I'll be able to go buy groceries. All by myself.
It's a sad state of the world when buying groceries is an exciting thing, but I totally understand. That is my weekly outing as well.
It's not yet. It will be in 3 weeks. I'm so excited. I order right now. Cool. Manitoba's got such high numbers. We're shipping some people to you.
I know, it's rough.
It's not good. Now, Diana has to go.
Okay. Well, you talked about all these lovely socks, so I guess I'll talk about my lovely sock out of the same Whiskey Jack yarn. I'm working on the second sock of the pair. The first one having been my unofficial entry to that weekend Easter sock knitting thing that we did.
Yeah, we did
remember the proper name of
a 3-day sock challenge with the Fibre friends on their Facebook channel.
I did not officially participate. It just sounded like fun, so I tried anyway. And I did one patterned sock with a new to me heel, so you know.
I have yarn acquisitions. I'm sorry.
It was reasonably successful. Of course, it's taking me forever to get a second sock done. But I finished the heel today on the second sock. I need to hold this up at an angle where you can see, yes, I have finished the heel on my second sock. And I'm so glad that I made notes the first time I did the heel because I'm doing it with a different stitch count than the pattern calls for.
Oh, yeah.
The pattern's written for 72 stitches around, and I do my socks at 64. So my heel math was... my heel stitch count is a little bit different, just by like a few stitches, but it's enough that it would make a huge difference in how it fits. And so I had to refigure out the math, and I wrote it down. So I didn't have to figure it out again, and I'm so happy. I'm still not entirely confident that I did it right. I don't think I picked up my wraps correctly. Like, I watched the video that I watched before, and like I think I did some of them correctly, but I think I didn't do some of them correctly, and I don't even know how I managed that.
That's not good.
But
I might just have a couple holes to sew up. That's not really that big.
I don't know. It's fine. So it's done, and it's done. I'm so concerned. This does not.
You might be doing it again.
Well, so on my first sock, the whole heel came up to this point on the pattern, which is there's like it's sort of a cabled pattern, but there's like a long stretched out cable part, and then there's short cables.
Okay.
So the entire heel took up one more short cable after the long one. But this one that I just finished today, it only, as I elbow my microphone, this one that I finished today, the heel ends at the top of the long cable.
Yeah.
Which means it's a few rows short. So I think I gotta stare at this some more. Because I followed the instructions. I'm so certain I followed the instructions. I even had to re-knit part of it because I didn't follow the instructions properly the first time. So I'm going to say flap and gusset, not my favorite heel, because I can't seem to do it correctly the first time. It's not complicated, but apparently this is wildly unintuitive to my brain.
Hey, listen, and now you know, and that's the important part, is that you tried it.
Yeah, so I'm going to go back to short row heels after this.
Fair.
But hey, that's meh. So I don't know. If it still fits my foot, I'm just going to leave it and
not worry about it.
Gonna finish it because it's like it makes a 3-row difference. So I'm just gonna I'm gonna try it on. Right, I'm gonna stick my foot in it and find out because I
was literally
gotta
grabbing
know.
yarn while you talked. I'm gonna judge you.
I gotta know. Oh yeah, no, it fits fine.
Okay. Yeah.
They will be they will be siblings but not twins, these socks.
That's fine. Really? No one's gonna notice.
No. Nobody is going to notice. So there's Whiskey Jack socks in the Jack pattern from Sunflower Knits. Maybe a finished sock next week because I just have to go zoop up the leg now.
Here's hoping. That's what I thought this week about the sock leg I was working on. I didn't even have a whole leg.
Well, usually I keep it on my desk and it's the sock that I work on during meetings, but because I was trying to negotiate a heel, I couldn't do it during meetings this week. I have a week off. I can do all the knitting.
Yes. Yes, you have this week off. We're going to game.
We are going to game, and I'm going to mow my lawn and pull all the weeds out of my garden because it's like 50% weeds. I almost said weed singular, but then that implies a totally different thing. No, there's none of that in the garden that I've found yet. I don't know. Students lived here before us, so but to my knowledge.
Just the old plant hurt weeds.
Yeah.
All right.
Regular weeds.
Let's do the cardigan.
Let's do it.
Diana started working on the Patchwork Cardigan, which is a free, was it free? Can't remember.
It is free, yeah.
Free cardigan design pattern that I received from a girlfriend and passed on to her because I was like, hello, this is a cute pattern. Which she was like, I got yarn for that, and casted it on. I was watching her make squares going, I need to do that. I was watching her make squares going, I need to do that. My yarn came in last week. I made 21 squares.
21 squares. Did I do that? I also did that the first week. It's like 20-something squares.
I did all the half double crochet squares and just got them done because I'm doing it all in the one color. I'm doing it all in this red from Impeccable. So I didn't have to worry about balancing out the squares. So this is just the half double crochet squares. So
those are the fastest squares.
They are the fastest squares. Because I don't like bubbles, I'm going to do the other pattern squares, and I'm going to figure out what to replace the baubles with because I'm not a bauble fan on garments. So
you can even just add a few more squares of the other ones if you like them.
Yeah, and I may do that. I also don't know for sure if it'll be like the right length because you're sewing it together. So like I might end up making additional squares at the end of it.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a part I won't know until we get there. So I'm using the same hook size that the pattern calls for, but I'm using a worsted weight yarn. So mine will be a bit lighter and a little less chunky, but that's tend to how I prefer things to fit. So because it's not a bulky yarn, it's still gonna have quite the same weight to it.
Mm-hmm. It'll be a fall cardigan instead of a winter cardigan.
Well, yeah. Well, in my case, a winter cardigan, but yeah. Yeah, I'm with you.
Fair point. It's a fall cardigan for me.
Got it. So I was texting Diana. I was like, the challenge is on. Work on your cardigan. I stopped at 21 squares because I was like, you need to have other stuff for the podcast.
No, you don't.
I don't. It would have been crazy to just be like, oh, we have one project this week. Oh, cardigan. This is cardigan instead of this is cardigan. It's like that one book I've got where it's on the side of cover of the book it says, this is knitting with an exclamation point. I'm like, that's a really hardcore knitting book.
Oh, that's too hardcore for me.
Just daddy little novel. Yeah, make up for your size. I don't know what you're doing. I bought it because it said, this is knitting. It had to come home. Can you blame me?
No, I would have bought that too.
Totally had to buy that.
I'm a sucker for a book with a good title.
I know.
Where a lot of my books have come from. The title was good.
True story. Let's talk about your crochet cardigan.
Okay.
So many challenges. You have no idea how many challenges I've been laying down at Diana's feet this past week. I'm like, that's it. It's on. Let's do this.
we got the 8-bit sweater challenge, we got the cardigan challenge, and we've got a sewing challenge that we're going to talk about in a minute. Anyway, so my squares are all nicely stacked up on my desk in the background. I'm going to point at things. The flattest stack is the half double crochet squares, which look like this because I just finished one while we were recording.
Yep.
There I currently have, I have 9 of those now.
Okay.
Then there's the griddle squares, which I'm crocheting one right now, and texture looks like that. As I elbow the microphone again.
You changed the position.
I know. I got used to it where it was. And then I've got the bubble stitch ones, which is one of the tallest looking stacks, even though there's only 7 of those. And I'm so glad that's done, because those ones are just... Bobbles are annoying to make.
I'm not a bobble fan, so yeah, I'm going to have to find something to replace that with.
And then I've got 8 of the basket weave squares, and those are just... They're thick. They're very squishy, but they're very fun to make, so I like those ones. Might be a bit much for an all-over texture for a sweater, unless you were going to do it at fingering weight or something. That actually might look really snazzy.
Yeah.
But it's a very chunky texture.
Oh, I'm supposed to cash on a cardigan or crochet top I'm supposed to be doing with Asa. Oops. Asa, I'll get all that, I promise. So much stuff's been going on.
4 times 7 is 28. Plus I've got 29. I'm working on my 30th square.
And we need 54?
Yep. And pattern calls for 54.
Okay.
So I have 30 of 54. Well, 29 and a half of 54.
You're going to have to keep pushing if you're going to stay ahead of me.
Yeah, I guess I should keep working on this while I watch Traveler Con later.
Hey, right side is, I've got all that stuff I'm working on for the next check-in with Louise. So I'm pulling a couple of different directions. And I don't have this week off work. So I still got to actually do my work.
I have a week off work, but it's probably going to take all week to get the backyard under control. I'm going to take some before pictures because it is...
Oh, yeah.
Forest is a nice way of putting it. There are some almost chest-high weeds.
So what you're saying is next week will be ripped for our live? It'll just be so dark.
Sunburnt, maybe? Dude, no, it's actually not next week. It's the week after.
Oh, you're right. Because time.
Because, yes.
Because time.
Because time.
Because time. All right. What do we got next? What are we doing? Where are we going? What's going on?
If we finished what we're working on, then we're talking about sewing.
Sewing. Which
I guess that means
getting out of screen again.
Okay, well, I'm going to start talking about the fabric that I bought, which has instigated the other challenge.
Right there. There's my sewing machine. Right there. Right there. It's still got stuff all the way around it because I'm still staging parts of the house as they finish up the work that they're doing. I mean, obviously, I'm staying out of the way. Duh.
I gotta get Mr. Diana to help me pull out my bookcase a little bit because my power outlet is about right about here behind the bookcase. Yes. And we didn't think about that when we put the bookcase up.
Oops.
And it just barely fits. Like it almost doesn't fit. It's not something I can move myself.
Nope.
It's also covered in books, so.
Heavy?
Yeah.
Heavy.
Okay. God. I can't. I'm gonna put it back up where it was because I can't have it down there. I just keep punching it. I'm sorry, everyone.
I was like, what's that banging sound? Oh, you abusing that microphone. I just caught you. Okay, cool.
I'm sorry. Okay. So
I see how it is when I send you presents. Show off your fabric.
My local
to just be able to walk away for a second.
Yeah, it's so great, right? Unattached. So my friendly local fabric store is called Spool and Spindle, and the lady who runs it has an extremely similar level of nerdiness and sense of humor to us. And post-pandemic, I am 100% figuring out how to make friends with her because we need to be friends.
I could always use more friends. Sign me up.
Yeah.
Also, I need more nerdy fabrics in my life.
I got unnerdy fabrics this time, but the wealth of nerdy fabrics is just beautiful. Anyway, I picked a plain fabric because I want some swooshy summer skirts, and I've been trying to shop for swooshy summer skirts. I've even been talking about it several times in the hopes that my phone will like listen to me and I'll get Facebook ads for swooshy summer skirts. Nothing I like so far. I have been getting ads for skirts. Nothing I like so far. So I'm just gonna make my own freaking skirts because they're just a skirt. I think I can figure it out.
It's not. I like to call that an adventurous beginner pattern. Like you can do it. It's just a few more steps and a simpler project, but not by enough to make it a big problem if you're willing to take on the bit of a challenge.
Yeah, which I totally am. So this is a chestnut colored cotton poplin. Okay. This is my plan for this is a half circle skirt.
Yeah. That's simple math.
Yeah. I've watched some videos, so it's like
super easy. Don't even need a pattern for it.
No.
Super easy to make.
It's like this is the most basic of pattern drafting.
The hardest part of the circle skirt is making the band to go around your waist. Honestly, just use a different waistband from another pattern.
That I definitely totally have.
Well, if not, do the math and just do it by yourself and draft it out. Yeah. It's not hard.
Yeah.
It's a slightly curved band.
So I'm going to do this one second because it requires ever so slightly more effort than the other one that I plan on doing.
Okay.
Which is this fabric.
Oh, so pretty.
I'm also more excited about this one because it's so pretty. So I just got 3 meters of this. It is smooth and soft and drapey. Rayon lawn, I think.
Okay.
So I don't know how badly it'll fray. I guess it's already a little bit.
As long as you finish your edges, you should be fine.
Yeah. Well, that might even be the selvage edge, I think. Mm-hmm. Yeah, totally is.
If it's selvage edge, you don't have to worry about it. It's like rayon's really not known for fraying.
Yeah. This one is
cotton, linen. Oh yeah. Denim.
Oh yeah.
You betcha.
I do actually know that one. I haven't done a lot of sewing. I've watched a lot of sewing on YouTube.
Yeah. They're addictive. They're so addictive.
So this one.
Watch this 6-piece miniseries on a costume I will never make.
I know, right? So this gorgeous thing is just becoming a rectangle maxi skirt. I'm going to sew in an elastic waistband and then put it on and then hem it.
Yep.
That's it.
You might give yourself some slits for walking, depending on how much space you've got once you put your elastic hemline in. You can make that decision later.
It should be pretty roomy. So yeah, we'll see.
Yeah.
But yeah. So yeah, this is going to be a rectangular maxi skirt because this fabric is too beautiful to cut. It's too beautiful. It's so pretty. I'm so excited for this to be a skirt.
I didn't see the Instagram post. I'm not that checky on Instagram. So first I was aware that Dan had bought fabric because I was like, Dan, a nice fabric on the Discord chat. And I'm like, what fabric? Did I miss a picture?
You did, kind of.
Now. I miss a lot of things right now.
It's so drapey. It's going to be perfect and flowy and it's beautiful. I'm just so excited about this fabric.
So in Jocelynness of Jocelyn, she's not allowed to put this fabric down and forget about it for 3 years. So that's it. Challenge is on. Your maxi skirt versus a dress.
Oh, that's going to be a gorgeous dress.
I kept the pattern from storage and I kept the fabric from storage. I need to get some lining but this is this beautiful ginormous flower print.
It doesn't even wrinkle. This stuff is amazing. It doesn't wrinkle. Sorry, I'm just being
not
really
real.
It's
not a natural fiber, dear.
I'm just gonna.
This man-made stuff can do amazing things. This is the same fabric as yours. Only I have many yards because I bought it on sale for a store that was closing, so I can make more than one item out of this. But first,
yes,
this beautiful chocolate brown and cream colored giant florally print all over it is becoming a V-neck elbow length sleeve maxi summer dress because I'm really tall and look really good in maxi dresses. I could say other reasons, but there's no other reason. It's just because I'm going to look really good on print this freaking huge. Like all over.
Fabric is ever so slightly see-through. Noted.
That's why I need to get a lining. I need to liner. I need to liner from my knees at least up. And I want to, because it's so light and drapey, and it's going to be maxi, I want to have it's probably a 6-inch, maybe double lined at the bottom to give it weight so it stays down and holds its drape. Which I will flatline. For everybody who sews, you know what that is.
For those of us who don't know what that is.
So like flatlining is when you cut out your pattern, and then you cut out your lining for the pattern. And then before you put your pattern together, you sew your lining to the wrong side of your fabric.
Okay.
And then you sew your pattern together.
That's rather than sewing the outside, sewing the inside, and then turning it right over.
Flippy. Yeah, I do. Okay. I do it this way because that way my seams lie flatter, I find, because I can trim that lining down before I sew my seams together. So for me, I get a flatter seam, and then if I get super crazy, which I never do, it makes it easier to hand stitch, which I have been known to do my hand stitch from time to time because that makes the hem at the bottom invisible because you're flipping over your fabric, but you're only stitching between that fabric you flipped up and your lining layer. So your stitches never come through that top layer of fabric. So your stitches to keep your hem in place are never seen. That I've been known to do. I don't hand hem often because it's a lot of work. Your hem is a large diameter, but sometimes like for this fabric, I'm going to because it's a stretchy fabric. It's got a beautiful drape, and I want nothing to interrupt that flower pattern. I just want her to go straight to the floor. So I'm going to put the extra work in, and I know I'm going to be happy with it. But like around my elbows, dude, I'm sewing that with the machine. So it's not happening. Yeah. Around the neckline, she's just getting a top stitch because that's fine. There's something about that hemline at the bottom where you can see it. If it's not perfectly straight, drives me insane. And the hems are so long. Like they're just a big diameter around the bottom. Yeah. Because you got walking space plus you in there. Yeah. I can never get it to sew straight on a machine. I hear everybody going, Jocelyn, just follow. Yeah, I know. It just doesn't work. It's fine. But it really bothers me. I really want it to be invisible. I just hand hem it because then if I'm off a stitch or two here or there, you can't see it because it's on the inside. Because I flatlined. It's a few extra steps, but you know what? It makes better product for me. It makes me happy. So that's how I do it. Will I record it for a sewing video? Sure, why not? That'd been my plan anyway.
I'm going to say right now I'm not going to record mine because I don't know what I'm doing. It's not going to be a tutorial. It would just be a comedy of errors. Actually, maybe I've just talked myself into filming it because it's going to be a comedy of errors.
Well, I have that second YouTube channel that I'm starting to make content for. So for stuff that doesn't fit here. So that's like a perfect place for it. And then I can talk about what I have to do for adaptations because of my visual impairment, what I have to do to make patterns accessible, like all this stuff that I have to do just as background stuff so that I can sew while still legit being legally blind. I don't know how you unlegit be legally, whatever. That did not right. Because I'm legally blind. So that was not super appropriate stuff for this podcast. But super good if I put it somewhere so that people have questions and stuff. There's a place and a format for it. That's all part of that journaling. I'm gonna document. There it is. I'm gonna document my progress towards blindness. That's what I'm gonna do. And the adaptations I'm making. Okay. Which somehow involved a conversation with me and Mr. B talking about how we were going to special effects finding tomatoes in the refrigerator. I don't know if I put tomatoes in the refrigerator. I want to toast a tomato sandwiches for lunch. So it's what if there's no tomatoes? He's like, okay, now all I can picture is some really spooky music. You walking up to their fridge, it's shadowed noir film, and you open the door, da-da-da-da! Okay, it's not that dramatic.
And there's no tomatoes.
And there's no tomatoes. Maybe there's a problem with your plan. There was 3 tomatoes in the fridge.
Oh, good.
Well, whole other ending. Whole new ending needs to be recorded. I'm don't tempt me. I have the equipment and the power to do this now. Oh, goodness. All right. So, yeah. It's all on Donkey Kong. Do we have a timeline for this? No, guys. Deadlines. She's got some reading and some researching. I gotta buy lining. There's stuff that's gotta happen. I gotta finish cleaning a house to put it up for sale. But once I did that, I got plenty of floor space to lay all that fabric out. There will be photos. There will be photos and stuff. So, but on the bright side, with luck, we start having some sewing segments. Listen, I kept a bunch of fabric. What I'm missing is I just added lining, which I need because all of this stuff is becoming stuff. All of this stuff. Look at all this stuff.
Ooh, stuff and things. And things and stuff.
Things and stuff, stuff and things. I have plans for summer articles of clothing. Now is the summer article of clothing time. So I need to get started. Kat's going to be mad because the Nutribox she likes to come into. It's fabric, Mom. I did not keep all of my fabric out.
You have a lot of fabric. No.
Boxes of fabric. Now that got put away. But I do keep out the stuff that I know for sure that I want to get to the next month. So, gotta make some sewing videos. I'm currently working on mending. That's proven fun.
I can imagine. Mending sounds thrilling.
Making it interesting is hard. All right, what's next?
It's mindful. Wool gathering.
Gather the wool.
Oh, it's time for my unscripted segment.
It's time for the weekly Patreon ad. Oh, I'm sorry. It's time for the weekly Patreon ad. You're not the only one. I'm putting things away as we talk because, oh man, it feels really good to have a space to put stuff.
If you would like to financially support these weekly shenanigans, you can do so at our Patreon that I still have not checked if it's patreon.com/northernitspodcast. In any case, it is linked in the description box. You would think that by linking it every single week, I would remember, but no, it's just a template that autofills, so I haven't looked at it in months. I don't know what our link is. Anyway, but if you click the link in the description box, or in the show notes if you're listening to this on Spotify or whatever.
Other people can't see, guys. I'm literally posing dorkily away from the computer because I have that kind of thing. Superpose. From wires.
I've forgotten what I was saying. Financially support. Click the link.
Financially support this podcast. It is totally understandable. Not everybody can. If you hit like, comment, and subscribe on YouTube, following us on the Ravelry groups and threads, following us in the Facebook group. We got a Facebook group. Finding us on Instagram. Personally, we're on Twitter. The podcast itself isn't on Twitter. These are all great ways to get a hold of us. And you know what? That's a spiel.
You're a little bit quiet.
Am I a little bit quiet? I'm trying not to
that's
be
better.
terribly loud. I'm trying not to be terribly loud.
Just depending on where you are in the room, the microphone picks you up differently.
Yes, well, that's because it's facing one direction. I don't have it. I need to change the rotation of the microphone itself so that the sound part's facing out so it catches me better.
Right.
But I didn't realize that till we started recording because I didn't want to fiddle with it. Oh boy. I'll make sure to fiddle with it before next week. Because I have to pull the cover off so that I can see the gold part of the microphone.
Right,
so
yeah.
That's
I think also my headphones are just slightly out of sync, which is why I keep taking one in. Like, I can hear you better if I have them both in, but they're just ever so slightly out of sync when I'm using a very old Bluetooth dongle on my desktop to make these work. And they're just very slightly out of sync, and it's very annoying.
You might want to upgrade your dongle.
Yeah, I might have to.
All right. What else we got? We got a spring cleaning cal going on. Watch how neither one of us work on the project for the next month. This is part of the course, guys. This is how we do it.
Oh, yeah. We have that cal going on that I definitely did not work on at all this week.
Oopsies. You are more than welcome to join us. Our cal is going to be running till the end of July. Yep,
yeah, I think that's what we said.
And the goal of it is to cast on the big behemoth projects. So anything that you've got sitting around in your stash, there are 4 skins or more, and you're like, I really want to get this done. Now's the time to do it. Whips are totally welcome. We're running this one exclusively on Facebook and Instagram. So post progress photos on the Facebook, post progress photos on the Instagram. Tag us at Northern Knits Podcast. Also, use your hashtag spring cleaning cal. Oops, try it again. Hashtag NKP, Spring Cleaning Cal. And that way we can find new posts. Ta-da!
Ta-da!
Now for the fun stuff. The second half of my yarn order from Fireweed Fiber Co. showed up. You ready? You ready?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think you're ready. It's my sweater yarn arrived.
Oh, those are pretty.
So
it's so pretty.
I ordered 4 skeins of this flippin' stunning, flipping stunning colorway that is the mini in the January Sock Club.
Gosh, that is so gosh darn pretty.
Isn't it? Isn't it just gorgeous? So this very beautiful January colorway. I'm holding January, right? Yes. It's really dark in here.
I'm 90% sure it's January.
I know it looks bright in here. It's not. It's just bright at the screen point. So, and I was like, this needs to become the rosette sweater. So this colorwork skein is going to become the colorwork for the rosette sweater. And then these bodies, there's more body skeins than this. These body skeins will become the body of the sweater.
God, this is going to be so pretty.
I'm addicted to fingering knit sweaters. They're so nice to wear. Like when I had the half moon tee on, it was just so light and airy. I'm like, oh, nope, I need more of those.
Yeah.
No matter how fast bulky knits up. Look, there's one. No matter how fast bulky knits up, it just, yeah. I never like an excuse to order from Marion. Hello. I'll take it. Yeah, her octopus ink, that needs to come home. Her teal, that needs to come home. 50 million more skeins of hummingbird, those need to come home.
Yeah. Yeah, basically.
I'm just going to start giving her my money direct. It'll be fine.
Pretty much.
Oh, goodness. I think that's it for wool gathering.
Yes.
Anything?
I don't think so. Oh, I guess we're doing the live episode on June the 6th.
We are.
Which is not next Sunday, but the Sunday after at noon Manitoba time.
Well, we are excited. I'm excited. I should talk to you. I'm excited about doing another live one because these are fun to do lives every once in a while. I don't think we can do lives all the time, or Sundays are not that structured, but it's fun to do them every once in a while. So I'm super excited.
It means I don't knit for 2 hours, basically, because I'm busy reading the chat.
I don't knit as much as I do when we record, if that makes sense. But I don't knit a ton when we record. I do knit, but I don't knit a ton. So, right now I don't want my arm to get stiff, so I keep moving it around. All right. Now, we're on to books.
We are on to books. So I only worked on 2 projects today because I read 4 books. I finished 3 books this week.
How many hours total did you put into reading this week?
I honestly couldn't say. 2 of them were audiobooks, but I listened on like 1.5 times speed. So,
I listen at regular speed.
So last week, if you recall, I had like 2 hours left on Sapiens.
What's making noise? Oh, somebody's weed back here. Cool.
So I finished Sapiens, and then I need another audiobook. So I remembered I was only about halfway through For We Are Many, which was the second Bobiverse book.
Yeah.
So I finished that one too.
Okay.
And then I was also about halfway through reading Soulless. So I finished that one. I remember now. I understand now why I completely forgot what the ending of the book was. Like what the answer to the mystery and everything was.
You weren't expecting it?
Well, because it just sort of... The main character has no real agency in the mystery getting solved. She just sort of is there. But then the romance part, like, does its big romance thing at the exact same time. So that part I remembered. And the solving of the mystery was, like, boring in comparison. Because, solving the mystery of murdered vampires is boring.
Well, I mean, if your primary character has no agency in the solving of that, why would you remember? It's something that's happening around her where the romance is happening to her. If that makes sense.
I mean, like, it kind of is happening to her, but she's like, nothing she's done is causing the things to happen. She just is there.
Yeah.
Not like she's useless or anything, just like the way that things play out, she just is there while the other things are happening, and then her being there triggers other things to happen, but she doesn't actively do anything. She just is there. But then there's the whole romance with the werewolf. He's not a detective. He's like
beat cop, investigator, special agent.
I'll go with the government special agent for paranormal activity.
Okay.
But he's also like...
He's a suit and tie.
But he's also the alpha male werewolf with the title of Earl and blah, 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 you know.
Wow. He was born with a silver spoon stuck in inappropriate places. Yeah.
And for extra good measure, he's Scottish.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Sure.
So, like, romance things happen, and that's way more interesting than the solving of the mystery. Which is why I didn't remember what the answer to the mystery was, because the romance was more interesting. So this book is a romance with a mystery on the side.
Got it. I mean, that's pretty much what I thought when I read
It's a good book.
I enjoyed it. I liked it.
Yes. It's a good book.
She was talking about it. It was like, there's a murder. And I was like, there's a murder mystery in that one? Oh, boy, I did not pay attention.
Yeah, right?
Oops. Okay, cool. Hey, I only have one book, so let me know when you're done.
Okay, Sapiens, everything's made up and the points don't matter.
Mm-hmm.
For me, we are many. I'm really excited to actually get to the third book this listen through of the series, because I've now listened to books 1 and 2 twice. I'm really excited to get into the third one, because we're getting into some really interesting philosophical things about, like, if you effectively live forever, what's the point of friendships with humans? They're kind of ephemeral. And that, like, psychological shift.
Yep. So
I'm so interested to see what's going to happen with that.
Book 3 is so good. So good.
There's a 4th one too, isn't there?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I'm super into that.
Yep.
And then the other book that I had started ages ago but hadn't finished yet was Scion of the Fox, which is by a Winnipeg author, and it takes place in Winnipeg. So yesterday I was reading this, like, epic magic scene that was happening in the legislature. Like, you know, the part that has the dome and there's, like, the black star on the floor, the big dome? Yeah, there's,
I've been in there for photo shoots, weddings, and a tour.
Yeah. So, like, that place that everyone's been if you've been in that building.
Uh-huh. It's a pretty impressive.
But it turns out there's, like, a hidden magic thing to it, and there's, like, an illusory 3rd floor, so, like, nobody else can see it, but there's, like, actually a 3rd floor up in the dome, and, like, secret magic things happen there. And
it's like Wizard Tower.
Yeah.
Or
so it's the interesting
blue phone box, Rincewind's trunk. It's a thing that we do in magic. Yeah.
So it's really interesting to have a fantastical magic thing going on, and, like, oh, I know that corner, that cross street. I've been there. I didn't live too far away.
Wait, what happened? Way more interesting than when I walked by.
Yeah, right? What do you mean there's a magical fox? Wait, what?
Huh?
And now there's things like, oh, well, like, now I want to go back to the legislative building and, like, go stand in this dome now because, like, this thing just happened and I want to go look at it. And I can't because I don't live there anymore. But it's interesting to have a book set in a place that you know that well.
Oh, yeah. Because it gives you a whole different perspective.
Yeah. So that's cool. That is Scion of the Fox by S.M. Biko.
Okay.
B-I-K-O.
B-I-K-O? Okay. I only did one book this week, but it's okay because I finished...
Just throwing scissors, it's fine.
I finished The Mists of Avalon by Marion Bradley Zimmer. It was an Audible book, mostly because I have a physical copy, but I don't really read physical books anymore. And then that was 54 hours and 58 minutes. And it took me almost 3 weeks to do it.
That's fine, because it would take me like a year to do that, so.
What should I be doing? I should be doing a Bob reread. What I might be doing instead is doing a Legend of Drizzt reread by A. Salvatore. And none of those books are small either.
No, but as I recall, the fight scenes are extremely well written.
Uh-huh. And I watched YouTube where they did a little song and lyrical number to the Sons and Daughters of the Goddess Loth, which is the Legend of Drizzt themed, right? So now I'm like super pumped. I really want to reread that story. I have not reread that story since I was in my late teens. So it's been a while.
I should also do that.
Those books are beefy.
That sounds about on par for what I was reading at the time. Give me your longest fantasy book. Yeah. I don't care what happens. If it's a slow burn, whatever.
Long. We're good.
Give me your biggest book.
Yeah. So we'll see where I go. We'll see what happens. I don't know. Tomorrow is Monday. I'll make the decision tomorrow. Today is Sunday. I know nothing. But yeah,
who knows what tomorrow brings?
Who knows what tomorrow brings? The Mists of Avalon. I enjoyed it the first time. I enjoyed it the fourth time. I enjoyed it the sixth time. I've enjoyed it this time. It's a very well written book. It's written primarily from the female perspective. There are some male perspectives, but it does little snippets from before Arthur is born through the myth and story of Arthur, Camelot, Lancelot, the whole 9 yards, just from more the perspective of the priestesses of Avalon and the turning from the old ways to Christianity. So they just sort of put a twist on that Arthurian myth legend, and it's really, really nice. I quite enjoyed it, and it's very humanizing. So it just makes all the characters really relatable because they're all very human. They have flaws, and you're just like, I know a dude like that, or well, yeah, I've had a friend like that. You're like, no, I can see personality traits.
Oh yeah, I've done that. That's me.
That's me.
I am this character.
Oh no. So I really enjoyed that. So I know I'll enjoy it the next time I get around to picking it up to read it again, because it's a very good read. So I liked it. The narrator was good. And the book narration is so old that they were advertising between sections of books that you could order more books for a timely month-long rental with a 1-800 number. It's an old book, guys.
Oh, I love media that's old enough to have old ads.
Oh yeah, it's got old ads. I'm like, holy Hannah. Oh, that's fine. It's a thing. It's going. We're good. But that's it. I don't know. What I'll pick up this week. Hopefully I'll pick up something. I'm almost caught up on the podcast watching and the YouTube stuff, so we'll see how that goes. Time Team still takes up a good chunk of my day, but I like listening to those anthropologists and go digging in the dirt, and archaeologists go digging in the dirt and finding things. Even though it's a really old TV show, I really enjoy listening to that while I work. So it's good. And quite frankly, I'm quite attached to Phil Harding. They were doing something, I was talking about, they were digging up, I don't remember what it was that they were digging up. Digging up something of an indeterminate age and origin. And then I know the picture because he shows you the photo, shows you a little video snapshot of the archaeologist working, right? He's like, with our crack team of archaeologists of indeterminate age and origin, and it pans it on Phil Harding. Like, oh man. British humor is my humor. I'm so happy there.
British humor is wonderful.
It's so good. All right. On the bright side, that means we're done.
It does. That was like almost efficient.
For us, that was the most efficient I think we've been in a while. Crazy. So not happening next week.
No.
I'll say until next week. I'm Jocelyn.
And I'm Diana.
And no matter where your week takes you, don't forget to knit.